Welcome to the Steven De Cuba's podcast. I am super excited that you're here. It's been a while that I haven't recorded a podcast, and I am so glad that I get the opportunity to share my story with you today. Because today I'm going to talk about wedding photography and how I've built my wedding photography business to six figures. So, if you are an entrepreneur, you are a wedding photographer, or maybe you are a photographer that wants to become a wedding photographer and you want to build this photography business, but you are afraid of taking the jump. Maybe you don't have enough experience yet. Maybe you have never photographed a wedding before and you want to go into this industry. You want to build a wedding photography business, but you have no idea where to start. Or maybe you are a wedding photographer and you are not really happy with the type of clients that you are attracting, and you want to start attract more aligned clients that really value you as a photographer, clients that wants to pay you the amount of money that you want to charge, and the type of clients that host the type of weddings that you want in your portfolio. If you are a wedding photographer and you're charging between $2,000 to $3,000 per wedding, and maybe you want to increase your pricing to $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 per wedding, this is the right episode for you. Because in this episode, I'm going to share with you how I started from zero, from nada, and how right now I am traveling the world. I live between Europe and Aruba. I travel a lot every month actually, I'm in the plane traveling the world to document weddings. I'm also right now the founder of the High-End Click. This is my signature course for wedding photographers that wants to learn how to build a wedding photography business. And today I'm going to share with you my exact strategy that I have used to build my photography business to six figures. Now, before we get started, I have a free resource with you that I want you to check out, because this is the exact steps that I have taken, and this is the exact steps that I teach in my course for wedding photographers, and I want to share this with you as well. All you have to do right now is go to stevendecuba.com/wedding guide. That is stevendecuba.com/wedding guide. I'm going to put it in the description. And then you can download this guide. This guide also includes a video training that is going to walk you through the exact steps that I have taken in order to build my wedding photography business to six figures. It's totally for free. You can download it. I want you to take a look at it, but do it after, or at least download it now and do the training after this episode, because the training is really valuable, and there are some assignments that I want you to do in order to start really take a look at the most important aspects of your business. All right, so stevendecuba.com/wedding guide, that is where you download it. Now, let's get started with this episode, because in this episode, I want to talk about my journey. I want to start there. So my journey as a photographer, not wedding photographer, started the moment that I discovered a new camera. Actually, it was my dad's camera. My dad is also a photographer. And in 2012, I remember he bought a new camera. When he bought a new camera, he took his old camera and put it in the closet. And there I was. I went once and I took that camera and I said, I'm going to learn how to take control of this camera, how to take good photos. At the beginning, I was taking photos in automatic mode like every other photographer, and I was just taking photos of everything in front of me. By that point, I had zero interest in building a photography business. I had zero interest in photographing people, actually. I just started taking photos of everything and everyone in front of me, but I didn't want to do it for a job, like they're paying me for it. So in 2012, I just discovered my passion for photography. I am one of those people that really love to learn about something. And when I'm passionate about something, in this case, wedding photography or photography, I'm really going to invest time, energy. By that moment, I didn't have a lot of money, but whatever money that I have to learn about this passion. So I started to YouTube every single tutorial. So how to deal with the camera, what is aperture, what is ISO, the exposure triangle, how do I take photos with a blurry background, really basic. And I learned a lot with YouTube. Then from there, in 2015, I got to a point where I could do photography full time. By that point, I have already discovered my passion for photographing people. I was photographing maternity sessions, family photo shoots, engagement couples. I even photograph babies, which I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't like because it's so difficult to photograph baby. At least in my case, I thought it was really difficult. And then I remember in 2015, I started to look for wedding photographers that I can work with. By that point, I didn't photograph officially my own a wedding on my own, so I'm the primary photographer. I was only photographing other weddings with other photographers. So this gave me the opportunity to look at what other photographers are doing and how I can put my own twist into my business as a wedding photographer. Back then, I was just a second photographer or an assistant holding the light for other photographer. It got to a point that I started to get more inquiries, even inquiries for weddings. Now, was it really high-end weddings? No. Was it really? Was I charging 5,000 per weddings? No. I think like the first wedding that I photographed, I charged around $300. I didn't make any profit, but hey, it was my first wedding, and that's how I started. So in 2015, I did it as a full time. So I was doing second photographer for auto wedding photographers, but I also did it for myself. I photographed a couple of weddings that year, but I got to a point that I realized I wanted something more than this. I wanted more. And as an Aruban, I got the opportunity to go to the Netherlands and study. And of course, I wanted to do that. I want to get out of the island, live in a big city, in a big country, and hey, explore and grow. And that's what I did in 2016. So in 2016, I moved to the Netherlands. I primarily moved to do my business studies. So I studied business. And in 2016, when I got here, I'm right now in the Netherlands. So when I got here, it was my first time living alone. It was my first time living away from my parents. It was my first time living in the Netherlands. It was my first time with everything. And that was a little bit overwhelming. So I didn't start immediately with my business here in the Netherlands in 2016, but I had the passion and I had also the interest to grow a business here. So what I did in 2016, I told myself, just give yourself 1 year. 1 year of testing, 1 year of growing, 1 year of getting to know this place, 1 year of networking, 1 year of, hey, live on your own, and that's how it goes. So the first year, it was just, let's see what happens. 1 year later, 2017, I told myself, you know what? I want to do this. I want to build a wedding photography business. And that's what I did. So in 2017, I went to the Chamber of Commerce, I registered my business, and I told myself, I'm in business, let's get this party started, which I did. The only problem is that when I got to the Netherlands, I only had portfolio in Aruba. So I didn't have any portfolio of weddings in the Netherlands. And how do you expect to sell wedding photography in the Netherlands if you don't have any portfolio? So I came up with this brilliant idea. I'm going to give away 5 free photo shoots to engaged couples that are getting married in the next 3 years. And I am going to photograph your engagement photos totally for free. I got 5 different couples. I photographed them. And the idea behind this strategy was to, hey, let me build portfolio, but also if they are engaged now, they're going to get married soon. And if I make a good impression at their engagement session, they might book me for their wedding. That was my strategy. So I did that. And then from there, I really like it. I really like documenting love in the Netherlands. So I started to reach out to different couples. I started to reach out to different vendors. And I started to collaborate with different wedding vendors. I remember I told myself, you know what? I am going to reach out to different vendors and see how we can collaborate. I once collaborated with a florist. I told her, hey, I just need a bouquet. I pay you the cost price. And then I'm going to take photos with a bride and a groom, and I'll give you the photos for free. And then I'll have the photos as well, and then I can promote my business. So that's what I did. I started to create the type of content that I want to attract. And this is one of the lessons that I want to share with you today. When you're starting as a wedding photographer and you have zero portfolio as a wedding photographer, what is important is the boomerang effect. The boomerang effect is what I have applied. Basically what it is, the boomerang, you throw it and it comes back to you. Same thing with your portfolio. So if you want to attract wedding photography gigs, you need to start putting wedding photography portfolio out there. So I told myself, okay, let me look for couples that maybe they already got married, but they still have their attire. I give them free photo shoots with a really nice bouquet. Let's take photos, and I'm gonna use these photos to promote myself. That's what I did. And slowly but surely, I started to attract more engaged couples. I also reached out to different photographers here in the Netherlands, and I started to second shoot for them. Second shoot is when you are the second photographer. So I started to do that, and that also helped me get to know the industry here. That also gave me the opportunity to connect with other vendors. That also gave me the opportunity to build my portfolio. From there, I was really happy. I was excited. Oh my goodness, I'm in business, it's working. And in 2017, I was all in. I was getting different gigs. I was getting different work here in the Netherlands. And in 1 year, within 1 year, in 2018, I remember this vividly, they named me as one of the top 10 wedding photographers in The Hague. Within a year of starting my business in the Netherlands, I was named as one of the top 10 wedding photographers in The Hague. And again, this is your reminder that I have put all of the things that you need to do, you need to focus on to build a wedding photography business in my free guide. That is stevendecubo.com/free guide. I break it down all in there. But basically, I focused on the one thing that as photographers, we have that no one has. One thing that help you as a wedding photographer stand out from the marketplace, connect with your ideal customer, and give you the opportunity to charge premium prices. That is your personal branding. So you as the photographer, the person behind the camera, that is the biggest asset that you have. Your personal brand is going to help you build that credibility. It helps you build that authority. It helps you position you as the go-to person in the wedding industry. And that's what I did. I focused on building my own personal brand, showing my face, showing my personality, sharing what I do, sharing behind the scenes, talking on camera, giving tips. All of that helped me build a personal brand that not only books high-end clientele, but also position me as one of the go-to person in my industry. And you see it, by 2018, I was named as one of the top 10 wedding photographers in The Hague. So this really, really worked. Now, what also has worked is that I started to call myself a wedding photographer. Now, at the beginning, I was not only a wedding photographer. I've worked in restaurants, I work in clubs as the event photographer. I've done food photography, I've done maternity sessions, I've done different photo shoots. I've done all the different photo shoots that you can think of. But the one thing that I was promoting was wedding photography. Wedding photography is what I called myself. Not photography. Wedding photographer is what I call myself. Wedding photography is the thing that I specialize in. Just think about it. If you have a heart problem, would you go to a heart surgeon or would you go to a general practitioner? Definitely you will go to a heart surgeon. So a heart surgeon is someone that is specialized in helping you with your heart. Same thing with wedding photography. If you are a simple photographer, you are a general practitioner. But if you are a wedding photographer, you are specialized. When you specialize in something, you can charge premium prices as well. So I told myself, okay, I'm gonna only promote myself as a wedding photographer. This way, I can position myself as the go-to person, go-to photographer for weddings. All right. So that's what I did. And that really helped me attract more weddings. From there, I also remember, I think it was in 2018, not 2018, maybe 2019. I can't remember the year vividly, but I also went to Madrid. I was living in Madrid for 6 months for my exchange studies. And there, I also wanted to build a portfolio with wedding photography. So what I did is I used the power of social media. I went on Instagram. I started to look for different vendors in Madrid, and I started to reach out. I literally sent them different DMs and emails pitching myself. Hey, I'm here for 6 months. I really want to work with you. I'm more than happy to give you one photo shoot for free. Let's plan something. And that also helped me build my portfolio in Spain. Not only that, I remember there was one vendor that had all the connections in Madrid that has helped me even get featured in a magazine. Not only that, it helped me get in contact with more vendors. And that really helped me build my portfolio abroad as well in Spain. Now, another thing that really worked as I built my wedding photography business is collaboration. I collaborated with different vendors that also attract the type of clients that I want to work with. I started to visit different venues. I started to visit different planners. I started to build key relationships in my business in order to attract more of that same person that I want to book. All right. So I have 3 different actions that I want you to take in order to start building your wedding photography business. Whether you are just getting started and you have photographed 0 weddings, or whether you are already photographing weddings, but you want to take it to the next level. There are 3 things that I want you to focus on. Number 1 is the boomerang effect. We already talked about it. The boomerang effect is whatever you put out there, you will attract. So with wedding photography, you need to start promoting more wedding work. So you can sit there and say, yeah, Steven, but I'm not photographing any weddings. I don't have any weddings coming up. How do you want me to promote weddings if I'm not photographing weddings? Well, what you can do is organize photo shoots with different vendors. This is what we call style shoots. And this is a way for you to build your portfolio. All right. So it's just like, think about a restaurant. When a restaurant want to release a new menu, they do a photo shoot of the food. And that food, the photos of the food or the videos will be used for promotion. Style shoots within the wedding industry is the same thing. You organize fake weddings and you can be really creative with how you organize it and you photograph it. And then you use these photos to promote yourself as a wedding photographer. That's the boomerang effect. Now, I've done it with blown out huge wedding that is fake, but we create content. But I've also organized stationary photo shoots, meaning that I reach out to a graphic designer, someone that does all the stationaries, so the wedding invitation, the saved dates, the menu cards, all of that. I reach out and tell them, hey, if you have any spare stationery that you've created and you want photos of them, please send it to me and I will take the photos for you for free. I've also collaborated with wedding planners that wants to create more photos for their website or social media. And together we have created different detailed shots. This has also really helped me with creating more content, putting it out there to attract more of that clientele that I want to work with. So that's tip number 1 and the one action that you can take. Organize different photo shoots. It could be a complete photo shoot. It could be a couple in a park with a nice bouquet and that's it. It could be a complete wedding day, but it can also be just stationaries. You do you, right? You decide what you do. You can do all of them, right? From there, what I will also do is collaborate with vendors. But what is important here is to collaborate with type of vendors that you believe and you know that the client that you want to work with are following these people or are working with these people. This way, you cross promote Your followers will get to know the planner. The planner's followers can get to know you, and that's how you cross promote. That can also help. What it will also do is reach out to different venues. Venue, as a wedding photographer, think about this. What is the one thing that your clients book before they book you? They book their venue. So if you can create partnerships or collaborations with different venues, you position yourself, you put yourself in front of your ideal customer way before they are looking for a photographer. So it makes the process so much easy. The next tip that I have for you is to invest in mentorship and courses and resources that you can use to build your wedding photography business. In this case, I have given you a free guide, stephendecuba.com/wedding guide. And this guide, you're gonna see all the things that you need in order to build a wedding photography business. There's also a video training that you can follow that is gonna help you with this. But I will also encourage you to invest in courses, in mentorship, and in retreats and workshops that you can go that will help you build that business. I'm charging 5 figures for weddings, and I'm still investing in workshops. Every single year. It is a priority for me. Every single year, I have to invest at least in 2 to 3 different workshops that is going to help me get to the next level. I still do it. So you better do it as well if you want to grow. I believe in invest in people that are exactly where you want to be, and invest in their knowledge, invest in sitting with them in the same room, invest in their time and their expertise so that you can get to where they are. I always believe in that. So if you look up to someone that is exactly where you want to be, see how you can get in close proximity to these people, even if you have to pay for it. Now, I have the high-end click, which is my signature course for wedding photographers. So if this is something that you're interested in, I would definitely love to invite you to join the wait list. So we have a wait list, and all you have to do is just download the guide, stephendecuba.com/wedding guide, and I will give you the option as well to join the wait list. You'll get more information about the course, and then when the doors are open, you can also join. All right, let's recap. There are 3 things that I want to share with you. Number 1, I want you to hear my story and realize that everyone started at 0. I started at 0, you started at 0, everyone started at 0. So you just better continue where you're at. Enjoy where you're at and have that focus on where you want to take your business. But remember, wherever you're at right now, that is the perfect place. You don't have to feel like you're behind or you're going slow, because that's not the truth. You are going exactly the tempo that is perfect for you. All right? So everyone started at 0. Number 2, it takes the same amount of time and energy to think that it is not possible for you to think that it is possible for you. So that's a mindset shift. I want you to know that if you see me, if you see other photographers out there doing the things that you want to do, and you tell yourself, it's not possible for you, I cannot make it happen, I can never have what they have, you're right. But if you tell yourself, hey, I see them, they inspire me, one day I want to be there and I'm going to make it happen, you're also right. So it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So if you believe you cannot do it, you're right. And if you believe you can do it, you're also right. So which one are you choosing, right? So it does take time to build. It does take your commitment and dedication. I always say, building a wedding photography business is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Are you willing to give what it takes to finish that marathon? And you can never finish it, really. To run that marathon. Are you willing to be in that marathon? Like running, jogging, even walking. I don't care. But I'd rather you be in it than being on the sidelines looking at other photographers doing the thing that you want to do, and you're just sitting there waiting for the perfect timing. Guess what? There's no such thing as the perfect timing. There's no such thing as the perfect moment. Or there's no such thing as, now you're ready, now you can do it. There's no such thing. You have to be the one that is telling yourself, hey, I am willing to do it. I am committed to do it. And if that's who you are, hey, you're going to make it. It's just a matter of time. So are you willing to give what it takes? And number 3, the more actionable steps, which is the boomerang effect. Start creating what you want to attract. Number 2, focus on collaboration with other vendors. And number 3, focus on mentorship, on ways to grow, on ways to learn how to do it better, more effectively, and more efficiently. One way that you can do it is by downloading my free guide, steventhecuba.com/wedding guide. I'll show you exactly how to build a wedding photography business. And this could be your start. All right. So if you are here and you are someone, whether you are a photographer or you want to become a photographer and specialize in weddings, this is my invitation to you. Give yourself that opportunity to actually build something that you are so passionate about. My question to you is, are you willing to give it to you? Now, there's a lot of people that have all of the excuses. I don't care about any excuse. No resources, no equipment, no years of experience, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear those excuses. If you are willing to do it, if this is your goal, this is your dream, hey, you only can make it happen if you take the step, if you actually take action. And today I'm inviting you to take action. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. steventhecuba.com/wedding guide. That's where you go right now. Right now, we're finishing up, we're wrapping up this episode. So go ahead, steventhecuba.com/wedding guide. Download that guide and hey, message me on Instagram at steventhecuba and let me know what you thought about this episode. I would really, really love to connect with you. All right, thank you so much and I will see you in the next episode. Ciao, ciao.